can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Marvin Vettori takes on Brunno Ferreira this Saturday at UFC 323. And Marvin Vettori on a little bit of a skid right now on a 3-fight losing streak to Brendan Allen, Roman Dolidze, and Jared Cannonier. No shame in those losses. Did beat Roman Dolidze back in March of 2023. Lost to Robert Whittaker before that. Beat Paulo Costa and then lost to Israel Adesanya back in 2021 for the belt. So been in the UFC for a while now. Since 2016, fought a lot of really high-level guys, has a lot of really good experience, and taking on Brunno Ferreira, who's just a marauder for the division. Been in the UFC since 2023, came in and got the knockout over Gregory Rodriguez in his UFC debut, so very impressive. Lost to Nursultan Ruziboev after that. Got 2 wins, lost to Abus Magomedov by arm triangle choke, and currently riding a 2-fight winning streak over Armin Petrosian and Jackson McVeigh. Fight he took on short notice. He was supposed to be fighting Ikram Alaskarov, who had to pull out. So I feel like Brunno Ferreira, I just feel like he's got more finishing potential between these two guys. I think that Ferreira, he can put guys out on the feet. You know, he can submit you. All 14 of his wins are by finish, and I just feel like Vettori, he's just kind of a bruiser, you know, with a big head, good chin, good cardio, can push a high pace. He's hard to finish, but I just feel like he's easy to figure out. I feel like he has a pretty simple style, kind of just a 1-2 merchant. He'll sprinkle in some kicks here and there, and I feel like Brunno Ferreira just a little bit more dynamic on the feet. You know, he'll throw some spinning attacks, flying knees. Brunno's going to be fighting a guy who's very close to his size. In this one, normally he's the smaller guy fighting guys like Abus Magomedov, Armin Petrosian, Jackson McVeigh. These guys are, 6'3", 6'4", and he's taking on Marvin Vettori, who's going to be, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach to Brunno Ferreira's 5'10", 72-inch reach. So he's going to be 2 inches shorter, have a 2-inch reach disadvantage, but I feel like in the past he's kind of struggled with the longer, rangier guys. He struggled in this fight with Armin Petrosian, I feel like, just kind of get put on the back foot, throwing big punches at times. Didn't have the best look in that fight, ended up getting it to the ground and getting the armbar, but it is a concern of mine taking on something like Vettori, who's going to be pushing a pace, looking to put volume on you, similar to the way that Petrosian was doing. But I just feel like Brunno Ferreira fighting a guy who's a little bit closer to his size, not going to get kind of bullied around there, be it a huge length and reach disadvantage. I think that he's going to have a really good performance. I think he belongs in there. At this point in his career, he's been having really good performances lately, and I just can't say the same for Vettori. Ferreira, he's coming off that armbar from mount against Jackson McVeigh, had that armbar from guard versus Armin Petrosian. Almost KO'd Abus Magomedov in their fight, kind of fumbled that finish. I think he went for like a spinning attack and ended up on his back, and Abus ended up kind of weathering the storm and getting the submission over him. But did KO Dustin Stoltzfus, KO'd Phil Hawes. Again, very explosive, powerful guy. And like I said earlier, KO'd Gregory Rodriguez in his debut in the first round, which is such a good win in hindsight. That win has aged very well. So I think that Vettori, he can win on volume, put a pace on the feet, just being able to dish out a lot of strikes and be able to take it, just because he is, probably has one of the best chins in the UFC. But as of late, we've seen him visibly hurt. We saw him hurt pretty badly in the Jared Cannonier fight. He was taking some pretty big shots from Brendan Allen in his last fight, and you could tell that he was just kind of visibly showing it. Like, you could tell that they stung him and he didn't really have the best game face. And he's on a 3-fight losing streak. I think that Brunno Ferreira, I think that he has more ways to win. He can win by KO, he can get him down to the ground, find a submission, can outpoint him, out-scramble him, win a decision in this one. And I just think that Vettori, I just don't think he's got the pop or the sting on his shots to put somebody out like Brunno Ferreira. I don't think that he's going to be looking to wrestle or to get takedowns. So I feel like his really only way to win this one is to win on the feet, out-volume him and get a decision. Just be the busier guy. Be moving forward, throwing more volume. And so I'm going to go with Brunno Ferreira, just being a little bit more versatile, a little bit more well-rounded, has more ways to win the fight. I think that he can get takedowns as well if he needs to. He's a judo and jiu-jitsu black belt. Vettori, he only has like 65% takedown defense. He does a decent job of scrambling back up to his feet. But, Brendan Allen got him down 3 times. Cannonier got him down 4 times. And Brunno is very powerful on the feet, deceptively fast, has really good feints, really heavy leg kicks, tons of power. And I feel like Vettori just doesn't move his head the best. He can be hit. I think he relies a little bit too much on his chin versus his defense to kind of be in position and be able to return strikes and land his own shots on the feet. And I think that Brunno Ferreira has the right style to be able to throw these big winging hooks, times them very well, throws punches and bunches. I think that he has a really good chance of hurting Vettori in this one and getting him out of here, maybe getting the TKO, maybe hurting him. to where Vettori's shooting in or in a scramble finding a guillotine choke or a rear naked choke, but I think a submission is live in this one. You know, Vettori, he was taken down and gave up his back early versus Brendan Allen in their fight. I feel like that's definitely an option in this one, you know, before they get real slippery with the sweat. Brunno Ferreira kind of swarm him and find a submission. And I feel like Brendan Allen had some opportunities in that last fight on the ground, but was just making kind of mistakes of falling over the top, to where I feel like, you know, Brunno Ferreira just seeing his ability to find arm bars in a fight that's not going his way, finding arm bars from Mount against a guy in Jackson McVeigh, and his ability to find the kill shot on the feet. I just feel like he's one of those guys who's not going to be making these mistakes that I've seen be made against Vettori in the past. So I'm going to go with Brunno Ferreira in this one. I think he can get it done. I think that he can find a submission or get the KO. But I think he does get this done within the distance against Marvin Vettori. Thanks.